Alrighty guys, we're back for Budget Burn, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked, but first things first, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. It was essentially just to try out the card, Hidetsugu's second Rite, so that's what we're gonna do. It's a 4 mana instant speed. If target player has exactly 10 life, Hidetsugu's second Rite deals 10 damage to that player. That is pretty cool, man. So essentially all we got to do is count to 10 and then play this card. So we'll see how often that actually works out for us. But what happens if we're burning the opponent's face away the whole game and then we see this, but the opponent's already at 8 or something? Well, then maybe we can ditch it to something like Grab the Prize. 2 mana sorcery speed as an additional cost to cast this spell. Discard a card. Draw 2 cards. If the discarded card wasn't a land, Grab the Prize deals 2 damage to each opponent. Cool, so obviously fitting that burn theme nicely. Other burn packed in that we don't have to go over, we have 4 lightning strikes making the cut, of course. We have 4 shocks making the cut, yep. And then we have 4 burst lightning, which is essentially shock, but it also has an additional kicker cost. So if we do end up flooding out or something, I can totally see paying the kicker cost on this, which would then deal 4 damage instead of just the 2. Got the brand spanking new Boltwave in here, 1 mana sorcery speed, 3 damage to each opponent. Cool stuff. What about some creatures packed in? Well, we have Sawblade Scamp here. It's a 1 mana 1/1 with haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Sawblade Scamp. Then you can tap this, remove an oil counter from Sawblade Scamp. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Honestly, guys, I think this will do the thing today, but I guess we'll see, right? Other creatures, we have 4 Coruscation Mage, 2 mana 2/2 with Offspring for 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Wouldn't it be great if we could play 5 of these? Yeah, that's why we have Firebrand Archer in here too. Just like a weaker version of Coruscation Mage, 2 mana 2/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So you guys can obviously see why we have 4 Coruscation Mage, but only 1 Archer. But also, I called it Budget Burn for a reason. So I do know that when building budget deck lists, there's a possibility where you don't have too many uncommon wild cards. Firebrand Archer is common, where Coruscation Mage is uncommon, so definitely noteworthy. We do have more creatures packed in as well. We have this Viashino Pyromancer. 2 mana, 2/1. When it enters, deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Cool stuff. More ways to see more off the top. We have 4 Wrenn's Resolve. That'll do the thing for sure. 20 total mana. Hopefully that's enough. Some honorable mentions, guys. Thought about Blooming Blast, actually. Yeah. I thought about Gutter Snipe as well. I guess 2 cards to consider. Something else to consider, guys. This is kind of super important. If you have like Coruscation Mage and Firebrand Archer on the board, when you cast the second Rite, if the opponent's at 10 on the stack, the Coruscation Mage and the Firebrand Archer will deal damage to the opponent first. Then the second Rite will see if the opponent has exactly 10 life, which they no longer will, right? So you have to take that into consideration before casting this. So if you have like 2 Coruscation Mage and the opponent's at 12, well then you can play the second Rite. The mage's abilities will go on top, bringing them down to 10. Then the second Rite will do that last 10. So that may be obvious, but I think it's very, very noteworthy and very easy to overlook too. Okay, guys. I think that's everything. Well, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, and see how we do. All right, getting into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's actually going to be pretty decent, guys. As far as budget deck lists go, I think it's going to be decent. We'll see. We go first. That's great news. Keepable hand. Yeah. A lot of burn, or burn that doubles as removal. Early creature. The only thing the hand is missing is a way to see more off the top. I'll totally go for that early burn here. All right, grab the prize. There we go. There's a way to see more off the top. Play the Pyromancer. I'll tell you what, the Pyromancer's a terrible one to bounce. So if that island was like an Into the Flood Maw or something. So grab the prize, ditching something like a Burst Lightning. Well, it'll still hit that 2 damage to the opponent's face while drawing 2. So I think that totally makes sense to me to do something like that. Maze Mind Tome. Okay, well, Coruscation Mage should probably be the play. While they're tapped out, especially. Going for 2. Get that mage down. Not bad at all. Actually, if we get to keep these creatures around, I'll tell you what, man. This should be very scary for the opponent. Of course, they don't know it's in our hand, but... So, Maze Mind Tome. When there's 4 or more page counters on this, they exile it. And if they do, gain 4 life. So that 4 life could go a long way. Woo! Second right in hand, but we're pretty far from it mana-wise. As a matter of fact, we're going to go way past 10 here. Depending on where they drop a counterspell, though. Let's start with the swing. Yeah, we're not going to worry about the second right this game. I guess, technically... Yeah. We shouldn't worry about it. We should just go for a maximum amount of damage. The counterspell on the grab the prize is really bad, guys. We really... I don't think we should do it. I think we just keep the lightning strike open. They get the scry here. Yeah, the only way that we go for the second right this game is if for some reason they clear up our board next turn and we see mana off the top. Other than that, okay, there's the plains. Yeah, we're going to try to get their counterspell out of their hand on their turn as well with the lightning strike. We're trying to play it safely here. There's their 4th. Let's see if the lightning strike lands. Coruscation Mage goes on top of the stack. Gonna be a negate. Okay, there we go. There's a counterspell out of their hand, bringing them down to 9. Boltwave. My goodness. All right, I'm tempted by grab the prize because we could do an extra 2 there if we see land off the 2 cards that we draw. We do that before combat because we don't want to run into an Elspeth Smite into our Coruscation Mage. And yeah, since we're not going for the second right, I guess that's the ditch. All right, there's the land. Bringing them down to 6. We play the land. And again, before combat, we'll go for the Boltwave. They drop the GGs. They must not have an Elspeth Smite. There we go, guys. Beautiful stuff. Burn totally doing the thing there. Seeing 2 of the second rights. I mean, honestly, this is a perfect showcase of the deck list, guys. Yeah, since we were burning fast enough to get them past 10 anyways, then grab the prize, did the exact thing that it's in here for, ditch the top end just to find more burn. So we're about to do 3. And then another one from the mage. Oh, I guess even if it wasn't Elspeth Smite, it would have had to been something that actually gained them life. And their tome was still 1 counter away from gaining them 4 life as well. Yeah, since we were going to swing with both of our creatures. Dang, dude. Nice. Let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah, they didn't have 2 white sources over there, so it couldn't have been 2 pieces of spot removal. Unless there was something fancy that I'm not thinking of for 2 mana that could disrupt 2 creatures. Maybe something in blue that like taps 2 creatures down or something, but again, I can't think of anything right now. Opponent goes first. All right, we keep this. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the hand. This is a lot of creatures for what this deck list is trying to do, but I feel like this would be a silly mulligan, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, guys, we can't let that Land of War Elves run rampant here, so we're gonna pop that right now. Could just be another one, but yeah, we don't want a turn 2 3-drop that we can't get around. Okay, Lightning Strike's good. I think we are going to go for the Coruscation Mage. There's going to be games where you actually hold Mage as your 4-drop, and I don't think this is one of those games right now. No way, really? Is all it took was clearing up their Llanowar elves, guys. So they must have missed mana or something? Aw, I'm a little bit sad about that. Still a great hand to showcase here. So yeah, hey, I'll take the victory. They've been tough to come by. And victory for a budget deck list is always great. Although it would have been nice to completely play out that game, right? So had they seen the mana, depending on what kind of mono green they had. We already had 3 mana of our own too, so all we had to do was count to 10. Play that second right. Opponent goes first. Guys, 1 mana hand. I don't think this is the deck list that can do it. I don't think so. 2 mana would definitely be preferable, so let's drop them all again. Crap. Crap, okay. It's 20 land in here. It's not an 18 land mono red, right? So going down to 5. 2 Wrenn's Resolve. Alright, we're going to risk this one. I don't want to go down to 5. And I think we can see... I totally think we can see that second mana, and once we do, we'll be fine with our double Wrenn's Resolve. Alright, I'm going to send the Pyromancer here, I think. Yeah, risking down to 5. I mean, it could work, right? But... okay, no mana there. At 20 land, we should be fine. We'll be fine. Swing a Scamp. No real reason to keep a chump blocker against these deck lists, right? Because I think even the... oh... I was going to say, I think even Boros Burn still runs Monstrous Rage, or at least some of them do. But that's pretty scary. Sheltered by Ghosts is terrible, actually. Right, let's set up with the Coruscation Mage here. And then try a Wrenn's Resolve next turn. Yeah, because we're going to need to start poking the opponent's face, especially since they got lifelink. And there's a boost for the Swift Spear. This might not be Boros Burn, it might be Boros Auras. Burst Lightning for our Coruscation Mage. Dude, we're in trouble, huh? Wow. Alright, more mana, but I guess... yeah, the Ward 2 is devastating right now. Alright, Wrenn's Resolve. Let's see what we see. Some mana over there. And a Burst Lightning. Okay. Okay, well, we'll have the Lightning Strike for 4 mana next turn to clean up the Swift Spear, but I don't even know if it's going to hit the Swift Spear, you know what I mean? Honestly, we might die this turn, too. That is a real possibility. Also, I guess it doesn't have to be Boros Auras or Boros Burn. It could just be Boros Aggro, right? Like a good mixture of both things. Oh, how long was that holding up on me? I look away for 1 second while talking. Hopefully I wasn't making the opponent wait there. I don't know if, like, a thing we want to do... I guess we want to play Burst Lightning since we plan on spending all 4 mana. Double Strike. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, crap. Yeah, Boros Charm. We're going down to 1. There's no way, right? I don't think... unless the opponent misses for the rest of the game... That's scary, dude. For real. Sheltered by Ghost being an absolute menace for this one. Resolve the ward too. We do it all now before they untap. Because you don't want their prowess getting above it. Now we're forced to keep a chump blocker because being at 1 means they could see another Swift Spear. Iron Claw. Okay, that doesn't have haste. That's good news. Boltwave. Wow. GG opponent. So at that point with the Boltwave too, I mean, I'll stand by what I said. It doesn't have to be Boros Burn. It could just be Boros aggro. But it looks heavily leaning towards the burn with the Boros Charm and the Boltwave too. So, all right. Well, crap, huh? That was a rough one. Well, let's keep the ball rolling. I think we can actually, I think we can compete against Boros Burn. And again, as far as budget deck lists go, all the cards in here feel completely fine. There we go. Oh, yeah. I'd love to pull off the second Rite today, too. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, we go for it. Start draining the opponent's life total. There's no real reason to hold that back when our hand looks like this. Lore Keeper. More mana. We don't mind seeing it. Grab the prize. Not yet, right? We'll get our own creature down. Keep pinging the opponent's life total. Down to 5. If we can do 5 damage next turn somehow. And then, well, they might not even accept these trades. Wrenn's Resolve is a possibility. And that could help us find another mana. Let's see if we can slip 2 through here. And we accept these trades for sure. Lorekeeper is terrifying in dinosaurs. Okay. Wrenn's Resolve. Okay, Scamp. Okay. I guess if we would have... Yeah, no, this is good. That's good news, guys. Because what we'll have then... We won't have a turn 4 second Rite, but we could eventually have a second Rite. We definitely need more mana, too. But, grab the prize, can ditch the Burst Lightning. Deal 2. Scamp can ping the last one while we look for the 4th land for the second Rite. Okay, good. They didn't take out the Scamp. That's actually better for us, I would say. Keep the Scamp around down to 18. Boltwave. Wow. Do we just stay on task, though? Try to find the land off the grab the prize? Or do we try to drain the full 20? I say we stay on task, huh? And at that point, too, we'll set up with the second Scamp. Since the second Rite isn't going to come down this turn anyways. The Burst Lightning, I guess. I hope this is fine, guys, because, boy, they got a lot of ramp here. All right, there's the 4th mana. Now the opponent is at 11, so we actually don't want to activate Burst Lightning. The goal here is to get them at 10 and then activate second Rite next turn. So let's play our 4th mana. I'm excited, guys. All right. No attacks. End turn. Right, they're not playing blue, so... Vault-Born Tyrant. Crap, dude. Crap. They're gonna gain 3 here. Oh, no. I wasn't expecting life gain, but yeah, Vault-Born Tyrant, totally a dinosaur that people play. So technically playing that Boltwave would have helped us out a little bit. We could chump. We could. But I don't think we do. Now we're going to need to see mana off the top to successfully get this second Rite through, right? Actually, do the oil counters go onto the Scamp on the stack? And then we can tap them before the second Rite resolves. All right, we didn't see the mana. Which I guess if we did, by the way, we would have wanted to activate one Scamp. All right, we're going to go full control just in case. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. Let's do this. Second Rite. 2 oil counters, hopefully, right? Target opponent. I guess it's like, hey, dude, they're not at 10 yet, so we're in full control. The hope is that the oil counters go onto the Scamp first on the stack. We resolve, and then we can tap it. Right? They drop nice. Then we tap it. I went full control just in case, guys, because I feel like, yeah, there it is. All right. I feel like if we weren't in full control, something was going to mess up. But I don't know. Honestly, maybe it actually would have stopped for us. I wasn't taking that risk. Because we've flown by important moments by not going into the full control mode. So cool, man. Cool. So for a second there, yeah. So Scamp really showing off that game, I would say, as a great way to help us count to that 10. Second Rite doing the thing. I mean, I couldn't be more satisfied. The Vaultborn Tyrant had me sweating. Let's keep the ball rolling, dude. Holy cow. While I have you here in the middle of the video as well, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And then also with the other YouTube nonsense, make sure you actually drop the video a like if you are enjoying the video. And then if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well because it really does help out the channel. And thank you guys. All right, opponent goes first. We'll give this a shot. If it's aggro, we got a lot of early removal here. If it's not aggro, we got a lot of early burn here, right? Okay. Carrot cake. Okay. I'll just ping the opponent's life total then. It's not worth picking up the 1/1 right now, right? I don't think so. I guess it depends what their turn 3 looks like, but Wrenn's Resolve next turn is a little better. Grab the prize, not yet, right? So I guess we'll just go Boltwave down to 15 and then keep the Burst Lightning. So what's scary about mono white mid-range, guys, is a lot of life gain packed in. Not only Carrot Cake, but also Beza makes the cut. Beza's brutal, dude. That's probably one that we want to take out of the equation. It comes back as an enchantment. However, lifelink cannot remain on this board. So we should take it out of the equation. Comes out as an enchantment, so they're going to be able to keep their hand nice and stocked up. All right. Probably just Wrenn's Resolve. See what we see. Boltwave, okay. Yeah, we'll do that now. Down to 12, guys, but I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna need a lot to get around a life gain from mono white. Not saying we're out, but oh yeah, Beza coming down back up to 16. Luckily, they didn't get anything else from the Beza, which is actually good news. So I think grab the prize over here, ditching the other grab the prize. That being said, I guess ditching a Burst Lightning also kind of works, because it's still like we're planning on doing 2 damage to the opponent's face eventually here anyways, and then grab the prize. Yeah, actually, yeah, I like that, because the other grab the prize will essentially do the same thing maybe. And we have Lightning Strike open, or we can go Wrenn's Resolve. I don't think it's Wrenn's Resolve. Might be the other grab the prize, guys. Sure. Yeah, I mean, at this point, if we're in danger either way, I think seeing more off the top. And it didn't feel like it was a Wrenn's Resolve just yet. So So our third grab the prize. Coruscation Mage isn't terrible, but there's a lot of removal packed into these mono white mid-range lists as well. Go back up to 15 here. This would be a great game to see the second Rite, because with all that life gain and everything, then getting them down to 10 is much easier than getting them down to 0. Okay, they swing for 5. Yeah, I think we're in danger. What they do with this 3 mana here. Yeah, it'd be great to set up the mage. I just don't think the mage is going to survive. Even if we go Offspring, I think they'll... Oh, Parting Gust on the Beza, guys. Good news, they don't gain any more life because we actually have a lower life total. But they do draw a card here, and they give a good boost. Sawblade Scamp. We could start with the Wrenn's Resolve. Maybe we do try the Coruscation Mage. That's like such an amount of extra damage. I guess we'll give it a shot. Yeah, since we're in danger either way. Especially now they only have 1 planes open too, so at least it's not instant speed spot removal on our turn, than just regular spot removal on their turn, you know? We actually had our turn. If they want to remove both of these creatures, they'll have to spend mana now. I'm going to take the 7, guys. It's all risky at this point. We're going for it. Down to 6. Split up. Oh no, that's brutal, dude. That's brutal. Rite, Pyromancer. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. However, we do have to get some chump blockers down for next turn now. Let's start by going Wrenn's Resolve, see what's on top. Over the grab the prize this time. Second Rite. Wow. If we can survive next turn. Hold on. Crap, but we have to... Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need more mana too if we wanted to go something like a Lightning Strike. I'm gonna be forced to at least chump the Beza. So Sawblade Scamp might be... No, we should keep it all back just in case, because just regular spot removal would do us in then. It could still just do us in because only have 2 blockers, and they got a lot of mana and still got 4 cards in hand too. Taking a look at our Scamp. At this point, if we can't get them down to 10, well... It depends what they end up doing here. Because if they play like another Carrot Cake, then it's still going to mess up the second Rite anyways. So we're going to try the chump on the Beza, just take 2, keep the Scamp around. But I don't know... I don't know how we're doing this without more mana off the top, though. I guess grab the prize, ditch the Lightning Strike to find the 6th mana. Oh, it's another second Rite in hand now, guys. So if we miss, we can actually try again, which is interesting. So if it was just mana, we could have just went Lightning Strike and then played the second Rite, but it wasn't mana, so we have to do something fancy here. It's going to be grab the prize. We're going to ditch the Lightning Strike, which should be pretty scary. Well, either one. Either one, guys, actually. We miss the mana. Probably going to die next turn regardless. So keeping this isn't even worth it. We'd rather just keep the excess burn, right? Dude, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Oil counter. We got to find that mana off this grab the prize. And that's a lot of mana for this deck list, guys. So I don't know if it's even... If there's a good chance or... No, the Scamp! The Scamp! We need the Scamp! No! Oh, we didn't find the mana anyways. Okay. Well... I guess it would be the other Scamp then. We can still attempt to chump the Beza and pop the Enduring Innocence with the Lightning Strike. So that is something, but we are losing the second right now because I decided to get rid of the other one. I don't think we're going to survive here anyways, guys. I think they'll have more spot removal on their turn anyways. Yeah, I don't think we survive, but... Holy cow. We might survive. Okay, well, let's go for the block. And then we go Lightning Strike onto the Enduring Innocence to survive. And then we tap the Scamp, get him down to 10. And then I really, really regret sending that second Rite instead of the Lightning Strike. I never would have guessed that we would have been able to survive here. Opponent's at 10. I mean, there's still plenty of ways that they could get around being at 10 life, though. Let's be real, you know? They do go for an Elspeth Smite after we tap the Scamp. But they are at 10. We could see our third second Rite, huh? Maybe. Maybe, you never know. It's another Enduring Innocence, guys. Wow, draw 2. All right. It's our Boltwave. So now we are officially dead, right? So I can't believe it. Opponent's at 10. I should have never sent that other second Rite. However, who would have thought that we would actually make it back to our turn again? So just drain the opponent's life. Guys, the deck list is kind of sort of doing the thing. And we'll let the opponent swing on in as well for fun. Look at that. They're at 4, and that's the 4 they gained from the Beza. This literally has to be one of the worst matchups for a deck list like this, right? But we're totally doing the thing there. Feels great. Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. We'll try one more game, and I think we can easily end on a high note. Easily. And even if we don't, if we lose again, I am very satisfied with how this deck list has performed. A rematch against Boros Burn would be interesting, but I'm actually just more interested in seeing more from the opponents, so more variety. So bring it on, opponent. What you bringing to the table, buddy? Yeah, with that last game, if I kept the second Rite, we did have that chance of winning, but they still had 3 mana open. I guess technically it could have been something that disrupted that play anyways. Yeah, we don't know what was in the opponent's hand. That split up was pretty brutal too. If we would have at least been able to keep one Coruscation Mage around, then maybe that would have been the extra damage we needed to push through. Speaking of keeping one Coruscation Mage around, I'm going to be very greedy with this Boltwave this game. It looks like it is going to be some Boros Burn, guys. Well, this is a very good target to pick up with a Burst Lightning. Very, very good target. All right, Coruscation Mage. Speaking of a very good target to pick up with a Burst Lightning, let's see it, opponent. No, they pass it back for now. Before the swing, we go Boltwave, because we don't know what's going to happen to the Coruscation Mage after we swing. We're going to try the swing, but... All right, here we go. I guess we hold off for now, right? We don't get too greedy. Opponent's down to 14. Actually, I'm just going to go for a grab the prize for the turn then. Ditch the shock, right? It's pretty good. That's decent. Burst Lightning, 4th mana. Okay. Actually, second right off the top. Oh crap, they pass it back. That is great news for us. We're definitely going to start with that Wrenn's Resolve too. See more off the top. I don't know what they're holding up right now, but... Grab the prize, right? I'll do it before the swing. We want to keep the lightning strikes as the last points of damage. Beautiful. Beautiful. See what happens to the mage. I can't believe this, guys. We're getting lucky right now. No burn from the opponent. The only thing they played so far was a challenger. Heartfire Hero. Maybe that's what they wanted. They wanted an explosive turn. Maybe they were waiting for the right moment. Or maybe they needed a creature to be able to pick up the mage. But unfortunately for the opponent, we have so much burn in hand. We're just going to double lightning strike. Also, Wrenn's Resolve also could have helped us find it too if we didn't have it in hand already. Well, nice. We had like an entire turn of just free. It was a free-for-all turn. The opponent didn't play anything, no removal. And then they found a Heartfire hero, I'm guessing, and then they played the Sheltered by Ghost on the hero to pick up the mage. I'm guessing that's what held up their turn, but also no burn or anything. That was... The opponent's hand must have been pretty bad, guys. I don't know what else would have been in their hand. Like 3 Monstrous Rage and stuff like that, maybe. So good under normal circumstances, but not enough creatures is my guess. All right, guys, let's go over this deck list again, ending on a high note. Even though we got a little lucky there, I think we still could have pulled through even if we didn't get extremely lucky there, right? It was still like a back and forth game. I think we could have easily pulled that one off. Grab the prize, huh? Yeah, this totally does the thing. Look at that. It's only a common, guys. Only a common. Budget burn. Look at this. No rares packed in. We got the 20 regular land. We have... let's sort it real quick by commons and uncommons, right? The Coruscation Mage is uncommon, Boltwave is uncommon, then it should just be an onslaught of commons. So Grab the Prize is common, Firebrand Archer is common, Lightning Strike, common, Pyromancer, common, Wrenn's Resolve, common, Shock is common, Scamp is common, and Burst Lightning is common. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. And like for being so incredible budget friendly, it totally performed well, and I'm very pleased with second Rite. The options that it actually gives you in a deck list like this, where it is easy to count to a specific number on the opponent's life total, I think the 3 of makes a lot of sense in here actually. And there are a lot of games where you are trying to burn the opponent's life total down and you get them down to something like 6 and they gain a bunch of life back. They're back up to 11 or something, or 12, and then you can still just, now you just shock the opponent's face down to 10, and then second Rite still gets you there, right? Instead of playing 6 shocks. But you guys know what I mean, right? That's cool. That's neat. All right, I don't like how I rearranged the deck list there, but Wrenn's Resolve as a 4 of made a lot of sense here too. And you guys saw how I was patient with my Wrenn's Resolve, because there are going to be plenty of moments where you, on turn 2 or something, you play your second mana already, Wrenn's Resolve, see 2 more mana, and you're actually pretty sad about that, because you want to utilize everything possible from the Wrenn's Resolve. Additionally, when we are playing more expensive things, if you drop Wrenn's Resolve on turn 2 and you see a second Rite and a mana or something, like sure, the mana is great, but now you're going to play your mana on turn 3 and second Rite's just going to go bye-bye. So a little bit of patience with Wrenn's Resolve makes a lot of sense. You don't need to have a lot of patience with the Grab the Prize, since it's going into your hand anyways. And then there's not too... Was there any moment today where we sent mana out of our hand? No, I don't think... I think we actually utilized that 2 damage regardless. When you got 8 1-mana cards here that all do 2 damage, then it's totally fine to say, grab the prize, ditch one of those, still do the 2 damage that you would have been doing to the opponent's face anyways, and you're just filtering out the deck at that point. You're drawing 2, you replaced the grab the prize with something else, and you still were able to push through the 2 damage that these would have dealt. And of course, when you are replacing things like that, then it's great when you have the Scamp or Coruscation Mage or the Archer on the board, so that way you're dealing extra damage as the time goes on. So Scamp was pretty decent, wasn't it? And it's actually just a great way to actually help you count to that 10, but also a good way to do that extra point of damage every turn anyways. And then something that Scamp has that these other Fancy Pants cards do have, or don't have, is Scamp actually just has haste. So turn 1, you can still play it, swing on in, and get the ball rolling that way. And then after the fact, too, the oil counters can continue to stack past what's in your... Okay, how do I want to say that, right? So if you run out of instants and sorceries in your hand, then Coruscation Mage and Firebrand Archer isn't going to do any more damage to the opponent's face until you draw more instants or sorceries, right? But with Scamp, the oil counters keep on stacking past it. So every turn you can still tap it for 1 damage. Now it is only 1 damage, but that is something to think about, I guess. As you could play 4 different things on the same turn, put 4 oil counters on the Scamp. Now if you miss instants and sorceries, you're still tapping the Scamp every turn, removing 1 of those oil counters. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, I guess, right? Boltwave, just 1 mana, 3 damage to the opponent. Yep. I can see why Boros Burn is floating everywhere, but it's not just Boltwave too, it's Boros Charm. Boros Charm also making the cut in Boros Burn, of course, right? Because Boros Charm's very, very good. But I think Boltwave is just a really great reason to try these burn lists, for sure. Just one mana, 3 damage to the opponent's face, and that's a card that you really don't want to send to the grab the prize, right? Outside of sending the 1 mana, 2 damage cards, then yeah, sending the second Rite after the opponent's already past 10 anyways, that's going to be pretty darn good, man. Just filter that out. Outside of that too, if you're flooding, it's totally fine to ignore the 2 damage on the grab the prize and ditch a land. You're seeing too much land, trade it out, and then you're trading out the grab the prize and hopefully pinging the opponent's face with things like Coruscation Mage. Yeah, man. I really, really enjoyed this deck list. This was very cool, man. I wasn't expecting to, like, the second Rite. I wonder if this belongs elsewhere as well. Maybe as one-ofs in other builds, but if you are playing with the second Rite in other builds, you're still probably going to want to somehow incorporate a way to trade out the second Rite once the opponent is past the 10 anyways. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back in that, against that mono white mid-range list and watch that match and see if there was any other way to actually push that excess damage through, like earlier in the game or something too. But then also, yeah, if I wouldn't have sent the second Rite that game, then there is still a possibility that we could have won, which is crazy. Again, the opponent had open mana. They still could have disrupted it somehow. We really don't know. All they need to do is gain life on the stack, but I don't know right now at instant speed what the opponent would have done. The main way that they could have done that is actually just have food on the board ready to pop. So yeah, I don't know. I think that one actually did just come down to my decisions. Cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck list as much as I did, which was a lot. And thank you again for the patron suggestion to play the second Rite. Yeah, I got to try this out at other builds too. I don't know where it belongs. Well, first of all, I think it belongs here for sure. I think this is the perfect deck list to have some of these on the top end. Maybe you guys don't like all 3. You could probably drop it down to 2, maybe go up a second Firebrand or something. Or creature burn, maybe something that hits bigger creatures. I don't know if that's going to be worth it either. Guys, I would talk about potential upgrades and stuff, but we're seeing a lot of burn lists anyways. I guess like some upgrades would be Screaming Nemesis. Again, that's not really what this deck list is trying to do though, but Screaming Nemesis is pretty decent. So, and in burn deck list, it can also help stop the opponents from gaining life and stuff too. So that's like a potential upgrade if you have a couple of those or something. I don't know what you would trade out because this deck list is very dedicated to do like one thing. Maybe other creatures then. If you have a couple Nemesis, you could drop a couple Pyromancers maybe. Maybe. Honestly, with how I built the deck list too, 3 mana might be steep sometimes when you really just want to do multiple things once you have 3 mana instead of just one thing. But that one thing happens to be very powerful. So I guess so, right? What other fun upgrades could we consider for this deck list, guys? Again, it's built very specifically, so it's kind of hard to say, well, we obviously want this rare card or something, when realistically everything is performing well enough in here. I guess you guys let me know in the comments, and maybe I should have actually added some stuff to the sideboard over here for potential upgrades, but because I can't think of anything on the fly right now that the deck list wants, especially when it performed so well, too. Like, yeah, you could consider some explosive cards like Slick Shot Show Off and stuff, but I guess that depends on what angle you're playing at with the deck list, too. Because if you're going the Slick Shot Show Off route, then you might as well go the other Prowess route, too, which, again, that's just going to completely change the deck list and how it looks, so maybe there aren't many upgrades to consider. There is the new, not the new Brotherhood's End, but similar. It's called like Slag Storm. That could be interesting. 3 damage to each creature or 3 damage to each player. That could be an interesting way to have a safety board wipe against something like Bunny Rabbits or something that's going wide, right? Also a great way to get around ward costs on our opponent's auras. Yeah, Slag Storm's a potential upgrade as well. It's a rare. And then, of course, if you're not wiping the board, then it still is another way to burn through the opponent's face with dealing 3 damage to each player. It doesn't say each opponent, though. That's noteworthy. So maybe Slag Storm. That could be neat. Okay. Enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.